Alright, well, welcome to the next update in Warpass. We've got a little friend traveling here in front of us. As you can see, I've added a little bit of a texture to these guys to make them a little more interesting to shoot at. So I also have multiple hockey pucks in the scene now. So there's one hockey puck, there's another one, um, there's another one over there, and one over there. So I got a total of 4 hockey pucks, all different colors. And you'll notice that as I target them up in our target window, there's been some improvements to the quality of the target window. So the edges now, the texture of the camera looking at the target is a lot cleaner and no longer bleeds over the edge quite as much. So I'm pretty happy with that. You'll also notice that we've got some ugly bars sitting here. Right now they're ugly because they're just proof of concept. But these represent right here the green on the top, the armor in the middle, and the shield on the bottom. So the way these work in the new health system is, I just barely got missed. The way they work in the health system is as you damage, the shields try to mitigate based on their quality. And a ship can have various quality levels as well as the amount of damage that maximum damage a shield um, can absorb. Um, and so it tries to mitigate as much damage as it can. And then the armor comes in and it has a quality and it has a damage mitigation amount and it tries to absorb as much as it can. And then anything that bleeds through makes it to the health, which is the green bar. And then as the health of the player goes down, for example, if they're out of shields or out of armor, the uh, the health will start to go down, taking that bit of extra damage. But once they go completely out of one of the other, the health will start absorbing all of the damage. So, it gives the opportunity to tune your ship for high armor or high shields or medium on both, and just sort of play with the tactics there. So I'm really liking that. Um, After you haven't taken damage for a while, they will regenerate, but not at a super fast rate. That'll be the role of, support characters, for example, provide healing or armor repairs or shield charging, things like that to boost that. So let's head towards this guy over here, and we'll just turn this direction, and you'll see that I have this navigation cross. So what that's doing is showing the direction of my velocity. So if I slide sideways, you'll see that it comes out to the side. If I go forwards, it goes forwards, and if I go forwards and sideways, you'll see that as my velocity goes at an angle, it will go at an angle. So what it does is just provides you, it's figuring out where you're going to be based on your current velocity if you continue in that direction over a period of time. Now that was funny. I don't know if you were paying attention, but there was a little fight between these two over there. That was pretty funny. Um, Anyways, the things that happen with random. Um, so again, as I move, you can see the crosshairs moving over. Um, and it's just basically give you a visual representation of which way you're moving in space, because it can kind of be hard to keep track of with your target moving and you moving, which way you're actually going compared to everybody else, because there's just not a lot of uh, points of comparison to compare yourself. Not like you're driving down a road and you can measure the power lines and the power posts going by. So anyways, it just helps out with that a little bit. And let's go ahead and do some damage to one of these things. So as you can see there, the shields are down a little bit, but in this one, the shields are relatively good and the armor is relatively low. So it's got high shields but low armor. So now you'll see the shields are going down, but so is the health, because there's no armor there to mitigate what's getting through those shields. So we get down here, and now the health is going down much faster. So we get this puppy really low, and there we go. And let's take him out. Boom. Alright, so he explodes, and we'll wait here just a second, and there's a respawn. So, grabbing different ones. So let's move on to this guy over here. It's basically the same thing, just he's got a different configuration. So I think this guy's a lot harder. See his shields going down pretty quickly. And even with the shields and the armor up, it was the damage was leaking through and hitting the health of the ship. So you can see the performance of these are going to be very different. So that represents maybe a smaller ship. Let's see. Let's go. Here's another guy over here, and off we go. There go those shields. So that armor is doing a pretty good. Actually, in this case, the armor is actually not very good. So you see the armor and the shields, or excuse me, armor and health are going at about the same time. That means that the armor is only mitigating about 50%. I believe these are set to like 45% mitigation. So stuff is leaking through. So again, these are going to all be things that you can tune, for your ships and enhance the, the armor absorption rate, the rate at which armor gets repaired if you're out of combat, things like that. And obviously, I've not actually mentioned it, but sitting here in front of us is a very large rock. So yeah, I've kind of thought about the overall scale of everything that I'm doing, and I don't think that having actual planetoid moons is going to be very workable at the scale of game that I'm doing. It would probably be okay if I were doing an RPG set in space, and I was trying to, let people, fly from one planet to another, and I had some sort of, warp drive, or in Elite Dangerous, they've got a frame drive for travel within the system. That's just not the scale of this game, so I think it doesn't make a ton of sense to actually make planets. And considering the problems I've had with some of my planet textures in the past, it probably makes a lot of sense to go ahead and just turn this into very large, debris chunks. So I kind of like the way it's starting to come about, and I'll play around with this a little more. I think at this scale, a large object like this, I don't have to play around with forced perspective, so I can actually theoretically fly right up to it and attach a miner to it or something along those lines, and I don't have to trick the player's eye with some sort of gimmicky forced perspective, which you really have to do if you're doing planets, because they just, without some neat tricks and very advanced tricks with switching scenes and things, there's just no good way to do the transition from a space distance, like say distance from the moon to the Earth, right? If you're traveling from the moon to the Earth is small, and as you get closer, it's no big deal until you get like to the International Space Station level, and now the Earth is about as massive as this thing is, and you have to, actually it would be even more massive than this. So at the distance I'm at right now is probably to that planet would be kind of, if that was Earth, I'd probably be probably 2 times the altitude of the International Space Station. So it's the scales in space are just unfathomable for most people. So yeah, being able to do this and not be stuck to planets, I think is going to free up the level design by a lot, because I'm not going to have to worry about shifting scales so much, which you just can't do in a multiplayer game very efficiently. Pretty much everybody's got to be playing on the same scale. So let's see how the big ship does on some of these guys. So this would be, a ship that's going to be an up-close fighter, and let's see how it fares. So let's get a little angle on this guy. we go. See, we're doing a lot more damage. This weapon is tuned as much higher damage weapon. Alright, so that was fun. Let's find... Oh, hello, he spawned right on me. Let's find another one. What do we got? Hello. Where did all my guys go? I think I talked too long. Honestly. I think I talked too long. They all just kind of flew to Earth, I think. Let's see. Let's see if we can find any. Ah, they're there. Let's go shoot at a different one. Nope, don't want that one. There we go. I'm still working with tuning the targeting system. It's a little. Made some minor changes this weekend to it, based on, selecting a target based on distance. But when you're pressing left and right on target select, it doesn't really yet feel that that's what you're doing. So I'm not happy with that yet. All right, let's go. Oh yeah, that was fast. Let's see. You'll also notice, we're not going to shoot at that guy. I mean, we can. He's just not going to blow up. He doesn't have health. Let's see. There's one there. I added, as you could tell, I added trails to the plasma shots. I think that adds a lot of visual zest to it. I'm really liking how that looks. So that's probably going to be a hallmark of the weapons, especially the energy weapons, is having that tail. My rockets have always had that. So speaking of rockets, let's go take on this guy here. Nope, not you. Let's see if I can get this guy. There we go. And let's see, I'm going to have to get fairly close so the rockets don't miss. Yeah, see, like that. See, he's not nice. Okay. You would think that I would have figured out how to play my game. There we go. That's a little satisfying thump. So different weapons, these have explosive damage, and different types of damage. Explosive damage are going to do damage to shields and to armor differently, as well as having weapons that are, energy oriented, for example, that do mostly damage to shields but no damage to anything else, or very little damage to anything else. So if I wanted, I'd be able to, say, switch to a weapon here, work his shields down, in this case I'm working it all down, right, and then switch into here and try to finish him off at close range with a couple of rockets. Yeah, come on. Oh, there is literally no AI to these things, but sometimes I feel like they are cheating. So you can tell I'm having a little bit of fun with this. It's starting to be a little bit of fun to play around with, which means that I've had several people ask, "Hey, when can I have a copy of something that I can just start messing around with, flying?" And give you some feedback, give me some feedback. And I'm pretty close to that. At this point, you can fly around with these two ships, and you can shoot at these things. And for the most part, that's see, it's little things like that will get you. For the most part, it's not bad. I want to do a little more tuning with a few more weapon variants. I want to add an overheat aspect to some of the weapons. Like, I don't want to be able to just do this all day and have them just unlimited fire. Got to have something that'll prevent that. Same thing with let's go over to this ship here. This one, I can just sit here and fire this all day long, and the barrel doesn't heat up. There's got to be friction. I mean, you can see it's got tracers, so there's got to be some sort of friction involved. Um, so you don't want to be able to just have somebody chase you down and do nothing but fire constantly. It's just not going to be fun. Um, so you're going to have something that forces a player to be a little bit more judicial on their shooting. Let's go over here. People have asked about this. So what happens when you shoot this guy? So this is actually, if you remember, it's one of my ships from before. And so yeah, this is what I call a game of tugboat. So basically, I just go here and I aim towards it and start. Oh no! Come on, yeah, start shooting. There we go. So just start pushing it along with the force of the bullet. So it is space. A little bit of energy goes a long way. So this is I guess I did put health on there. I just don't have a destruction on it. So it actually should not blow up. Yeah, it just kind of stops. It died. I lost the ability to target it, but I don't have a respawner on it. So anyways. So yeah, that's the weekend's updates. I have both of my spawning areas over here just so that I can, have some enemies to shoot at. Not actually going to start over here, but I do kind of like the look of this. It's it's one of those things where if you imagine that all of the capture areas are this kind of visible off in the distance, it could be pretty nice. To be able to see it's the lack of geography and landmarks is the real challenge in building the game map. So anybody's got ideas on it, feel free to put it in comments in this video, and don't forget to subscribe and like the video, and tell other people. All right, well, till later, till the next time.